Okay. Whew. Back in this thing. It is rainy. I wasn't expecting this kind of rain. I mean, I was expecting rain. This is rain. Pretty rainy. I don't even know what today's date is. Let's see. Well, this one says, appeal to people's self-interest. The shortest and best way to make your fortune is to let people see clearly that it is in their interest to promote yours. In your quest for power, you will constantly find yourself in the position of asking for help from those more powerful than you. There is an art to asking for help, an art that depends on your ability to understand the person you are dealing with and to not confuse your needs with theirs. Most people never succeed at this because they are completely trapped in their own wants and desires. They start from the assumption that the people they are appealing to have a selfless interest in helping them. They talk as if their needs mattered to these people, who probably couldn't care less. Sometimes they refer to larger issues, a great cause, or grand emotions such as love and gratitude. They go for the big picture when simple everyday realities would have been much more appealing. What they do not realize is that even the most powerful person is locked inside needs of their own, and that if you make no appeal to his self-interest, he merely sees you as desperate or, at best, a waste of time. Daily law: when asking for anything, uncover something in your request that will benefit the person you are asking, and emphasize it out of all proportion. They will respond enthusiastically when they see something to be gained for themselves. That's from the 48 Laws of Power, law number 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. All right. Read one more. Use your enemies. Starts with a quote from Tacitus. Men are more ready to repay an injury than a benefit, because gratitude is a burden and revenge a pleasure. In 1971, during the Vietnam War, Henry Kissinger was the target of an unsuccessful kidnapping attempt, a conspiracy involving, among others, the renowned anti-war activist priest, the Berrigan brothers. Four more Catholic priests and 4 nuns. Wow, they were all in on this. In private, without informing the Secret Service or the Justice Department, Kissinger arranged a Saturday morning meeting with 3 of the alleged kidnappers, explaining to his guests that they would have most American soldiers out of Vietnam by mid-1972. He completely charmed them. They gave him some, quote, kidnap Kissinger buttons, and one of them remained a friend of his for years, visiting him on several occasions. This was not just a one-time ploy. Kissinger made a policy of working with those who disagreed with him. Colleagues commented that he seemed to get along better with his enemies than with his friends. Whenever you can, bury the hatchet with an enemy and make a point of putting him in your service. Daily law, as Lincoln said, you can destroy an enemy when you make a friend of him. That's from the 48 Laws of Power, law number 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Interesting. Yep. Those are good ones. Yeah, if you can make peace, not peace, but if you can win over a perceived enemy or someone who doesn't like you. Sometimes enemy seems like a strong word. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an enemy. It could just be someone who doesn't necessarily like you. And if you could turn the tables, like I think I did that. Like a switch flipped in my head with this guy that I was not having a problem with, but could sense there was a vibe of like unfriendliness, at the least. You know, instead of like just ignoring it, I just faced it and walked right at it and and started to engage this guy in conversation. Started asking him questions, and you could tell by at first like his answers were like very short and curt. Like he was answering the questions, you know, just inquiring about him and just, you know, a normal everyday conversation. Come to find out that we actually had um a very common interest in, not very common, but a very strong interest in music production. So we started to bond on that, just talk about that, and all of a sudden we were getting along. So it's like sometimes instead of doing battle with an enemy, you know, you can metaphorically, like that quote said, if you could turn that enemy into a friend, didn't you just defeat that enemy? You know, it's another way of vanquishing an adversary is to make him your friend. Oh, that's funny. It's not as raining. It's like a pocket of. Why is it not raining right here? It's crazy. It's only like a couple hundred yards away from where I was parked, and it's barely even sprinkling right here. So, anyways, gonna make some friends with my doggies. Days like this when it's rainy, they don't usually like going outside. I don't blame them. So we'll see how packed it is today. It's not a holiday weekend of any kind, which is good. So maybe it'll be a little bit thin in terms of the amount of dogs that are there. Not that I mind. It's just that when they don't go outside a lot, it tends to get a little packed inside. But either way, it's not like it's not something I can handle, or can't handle, I should say. So I finally seem to have finished my training manual. So now if I could, what I really need to do is get like a printed version, a copy of it in my hand so I don't have to be staring at my phone. I want to go over it like a lot before I do anything with it. Just want to have everything down. Like I sound like a professional. Well, this is good. As long I'm okay with it being wet. I hate when it's super rainy. I just stay in the slow lane anyways. But I'm going to do 55 the whole way, if that. Yeah, I don't know if anybody out there has ever hydroplaned before, but that is not fun. I've had that happen. Feel your car have complete lack of contact with the road. It just starts like slowly veering towards either side on its own. You're holding the wheel dead center. Scary sensation. What is this? Are you blocking traffic? Do I need to get over? I'm getting over. Yeah, it's almost better to follow behind a car when it's raining like this, because if there is a lot of water buildup on the ground, they're cutting the tire line for you. It's not like it's not like rainy right now, but there could still be puddles on the ground. It's just the lightest sprinkle. But yeah, use your enemies. That's an interesting topic. The use of those who oppose you. You can never really tell who those people are, because the worst of them smile to your face. Consider yourself lucky if all the people that don't like you let you know it. Because the worst enemies hide nice and close to you. Sometimes even within like a friend circle. So I like dogs. They can't lie. If they don't like you, it's obvious. That's funny. You can see like the advancement of technology slowly seep into different areas of daily life. Like especially with like the advancement of screen technology. And this is just something simple and like on a caveman level. So I'm on the freeway right now, and I guess they were doing some temporary work, and there's a truck, like a city truck, and they have those big signs, not a sign, it's like a big display with an arrow letting everybody know to get over. Well, for the longest time, those displays had used big light bulbs to make the form of an arrow. And the one I just saw right now it's way more like a screen, actually, like I know it's not as high def as a TV, but it's really making its way towards being that, because that you couldn't see like individual light bulbs forming the shape of an arrow. It looked like a nice solid arrow, which I guess in terms of the terminology, it'd be way more pixel definition. If you want to look at a TV as in your mind, each individual pixel would have been those light bulbs that formed the arrow. Well, now there's probably in that arrow would have been hundreds and hundreds of light bulbs to form that arrow. So everything is getting a bit of an upgrade. Which I guess is good in some instances. One thing I don't like in terms of that, screens everywhere, is gauges in a car. Now, I know a lot of these new cars are using screens for the gauge display. Or maybe this is just the old man in me, but I prefer just to give me a regular old school gauge. Now it's starting to rain. Hey, move over, sir. Oh, there went the person I was following. Now I am the person people are following. So yeah, maybe if they're generous at work today, I could print out a copy of my little training manual I made, just so I could have an in-hand copy to look at, read. My eyes get so tired looking at my phone. I'm tired of holding that thing in my hand. Yeah, I figured it was going to get a lot more rainy going out this way, because this is going close towards the beach. Sure enough. See, what else? That's about it. Not much on my mind. I mean, purely focused on driving. So that is 100% on my mind. I love the rain, but I love to be home during the rain. Or at least I don't want to have to drive on the freeway. I don't mind driving. It's crazy how some people just blast right past me. They don't even care. I'll venture to guess they've probably never hydroplaned before. If you've ever hydroplaned in the rain, you would not want to speed through this. I think what's the scariest part about that is, you normally feel completely under control when you're driving your car. And to feel your car do something that's completely out of your control while you're driving, it's not fun. That's the worst part about it. I guess that's a good analogy for really life. You think you're in control until you realize you are absolutely not. Okay, it's a little bit better out here. Not as rainy. Oh man. Oh, I sent that manual I made to my sister just because I want to get some people's feedback just on what they might think. Not that I think she's into dogs or anything like that, but even people who aren't into animals or into what I made, even if they don't have any interest, they can at least give me feedback from that perspective, which is good too. Also, but I built this whole thing integrating the hero's journey into it, which she's familiar with, and then she told me there's something called the fool's journey. I've never heard of that. So I'm gonna look that up when I park right now. See what that's about. Curious to see where it came from. Yeah, the hero's journey is pretty cool. I like that. I heard somebody say we're all the heroes of our own story, which is a pretty neat idea. I like that. Wow, the rain kicked back in. And the lines on the freeway are so worn out that when it gets rainy like this, you cannot even see your lane. That's probably dangerous. And should probably be addressed. I wonder how long it takes if they were to repaint these lines, whatever material they use to paint. Figuring it's probably not just normal paint. How long it takes to dry? Like if they were to, upgrade all these freeway routes, because they would have to block something off. Otherwise, we're going to be driving all over it. They'd have to give it time to, cure properly. How long would that take? So many questions, and I have no answers. Alright, exit. Yay. Cool. It's funny to see the glow of the stoplight on my face in my phone. You never realize that's happening until you see that it's happening. Oh man. I didn't have any of my drink. Oh, it's carbonated. Ah. Like even these stoplights, I can see like each individual. I don't think it's just like one bulb in there. You can see each individual little light. It's almost kind of like tiny LEDs. Everything is becoming more high definition, little by little, or at least higher definition than previous iterations. Just about there. Well, now I just thought about it. I don't even think I'll be able to print that out over here because I don't know how I would access it. Then when I exported this thing into a PDF, what I originally did was attach it to an email, and then I tried to email it to people, but they said they couldn't open it. I'm like, what? And at first, I thought the program I was using to make it was like maybe exporting, corrupt files for whatever reason. So I happened to text it to somebody, and they could open it fine. I was like, oh, okay, that worked. And then I did a little test. I emailed it to myself and tried to open it, and yeah, it won't download the attachment. I'm a bit curious about, but at least I have it, and at least I know it works in terms of like. That's interesting. A little trailer here. I don't know why. Today I shall park this way. I wonder whose little trailer that is. And why is it here? Do that one more time. All right. Back it up. There. I have made it to my destination. Alright. That's it for this episode. Everybody have a great day. And always do your best. And be good to others. In Jesus' name I pray, man. Go to work.